glory to Jesus Christ. God, in his desire for all humanity to be joined by mutual bonds, has made it necessary for us to derive our own welfare from the welfare of our neighbors. That is, the farmer does not sow only so much grain as will be sufficient for himself, but also enough to feed his family and many others as well. The soldier does not take up arms and stand guard in order to save himself alone, but to keep the whole population safe. The merchant does not bring only enough for himself to market, but enough for many others also, and in so providing the goods and services to others, he also makes his living and is able to provide for himself and his own family. God has linked all of our welfare together. He does not allow us to secure our own welfare unless and until we have done something for the welfare of others. And the same goes for the economy of grace. It's impossible to be saved without this. Indeed, even if a man is schooled in great wisdom, and yet then he despises his other brethren who are perishing, he will not find favor before God. It's no crime that we need others, or that we seek what is good for one another. It's the work of God's ineffable wisdom that all people need one another. And yet, even with this truth before us, we still raise enmity among ourselves. It behooves us to display towards one another such neighborliness and friendship, not merely as one friend to another, but as one member to another, as members of one body, as the Apostle St. Paul says. For as the body is one, hath many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is Christ. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles, whether we be bond or free. God has tempered this body together, having given more abundant honor to that part which lacked, that there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care, one for another. And whether one member suffer, all the members will suffer with it. Or one member is honored, all the members rejoice with it. If we burn our finger, our entire being suffers the pain. Or if, on the other hand, we receive a ring on our finger, our entire being is delighted by it. There is no envy among the members of the body. So let us then, within the one body, be submissive and in unity with one another. But what of those members who are sick in sin, who might wish to depart? Even if someone else should wish to depart, let us not be torn away ourselves. Do not say, I have no use for him because he is a sickly member. For to despise one who is ill shows a lack of genuine love. Instead, rekindle within that love which is grown cold. Let's not have the attitude that if someone loves me, then I love that person. If someone does not love me, well, neither then do I love that person. Rather, when someone is unwilling to love, let us hold that person in greater love, genuine love, which is sometimes quite challenging to our own complacency. And we do this in order to bring him in, because he too is a member, even if presently sickened with sin. For the law of the gospel says, love your enemies, and ye shall be children of the Most High. If we love our enemies, then truly we will be like unto God. So what then do we want? Do we want to be like sinners or to be like God? For if we love only them who love us, sinners also do this, the same. And thus we become more like sinners because of our foolishness. Therefore we lose the benefit and blessing of being children of the Most High God. Let us be merciful, therefore, even as our Heavenly Father is merciful, and let us show great love, even towards our enemies. For to love those who love us is merely human. It's common to all. Whereas to love enemies is a virtuous and a divine act. Let us love our enemies, even as we have been loved. For while we were yet enemies, God loved us, and sent his Son as the messenger of mercy for us. Let us become like unto God. Let us be merciful, even as we ourselves have obtained mercy. For in such a way is true love recognized, love which is according to God. When we not only love those who love us and give them of the good things which we have from God, but when we even give to those who hate us, asking nothing in return. Let us avoid cruelty and hatred of our fellow man. Let us flee from usury and profiteering, from degradation, from objectification, from the commodification of one another. Let us love God and our neighbor rather than money, so that ultimately we may have a share in the kingdom of heaven.